The Chicago Cubs are still in control of their own destiny in the MLB playoff race, but things are getting a bit shakier after a few recent setbacks. The Cubs lost 3 of 4 games to the Arizona Diamondbacks at Wrigley Field in recent days, then followed that up with 2 straight losses to the lowly Colorado Rockies at Coors Field. Add to that injuries to Adbert, Alzolay and Jeimer, Candelario, and you can't fault Cubs fans for getting a bit skittish about their chances as the season hits the homestretch. If you're feeling pessimistic, there are a few reasons why you may be right. If you are looking for hope, here are 4 reasons you may still want to keep the faith in the Northsiders. No, it is not ideal to lose 2 of 3 to the Rockies, just like it wasn't ideal to lose 2 of 3 to the New York Mets in recent weeks. Still though, the Cubs are 39-26 against teams with records below .500, and they'll have a few more series coming up against the Rockies and Pittsburgh Pirates to bolster that mark. What's more, they aren't the only playoff contending team with a record near that level. The Cincinnati Reds are 34-24 in such games. The Brewers are 37-23. The Marlins are 38-24. Realistically, the only teams that have really feasted on sub-.500 clubs more than the Cubs are the Phillies at 36-21 and the Diamondbacks at 41-24. The Cubs are without 3 of the pitchers that started the year in their rotation, and yet they're still getting some really strong outings from their rotation. Justin Steele has 5 straight quality starts. Given up 1 earned run in his last 21 innings of work, with 26 strikeouts and 3 walks. Jordan Wicks has given up 5 earned runs in his 4 starts since joining the Cubs, and has shown he can retire hitters both by inducing contact and by using his effective changeup as a strikeout pitch. Kyle Hendricks has 5 good starts in his last 6, but while did give up 4 earned runs in 5.1 innings of work in the long struggle start, the Cubs still won the game. No, the rotation isn't perfect, but it's been getting the job done. Dansby Swanson hit the skids a bit in late August and early September, but he seems to be turning a bit of a corner, with 11 hits in his last 7 games. He also has 4 extra base hits and 4 RBIs, with 4 runs scored in those games. Swanson has basically come as advertised for the Cubs, with 20 home runs and 74 RBIs this season to go along with his dazzling defense. Cubs fans are looking at the 3 remaining games with Arizona, as well as road series against Atlanta and Milwaukee to finish the season, but other teams have it rough too. The Marlins have 6 games left against playoff opponents. They also have 6 games against the Mets, and they're 2-5 against them this year. The Brewers have 6 left against playoff opponents, including 3 versus Cubs. Another key is that they only have 1 day off remaining this season, so they'll have to basically ride their bullpen hard the rest of the way. The Phillies are in a bit of a more advantageous position in terms of quality of competition, but they still have a series left against the Braves in a 6-game road trip to contend with. The Giants are in a rough spot, with road series against the Dodgers and Diamondbacks and a 3-game set against Los Angeles left on their docket. The Diamondbacks have 8 games left versus playoff teams. That includes another East Coast trip and a home series finale against the Houston Astros. The Reds do have a slightly easier schedule than the rest, but when you look at the challenges facing other squads, the Cubs are far from alone in having to contend with certain obstacles.